Good evening, welcome to the shed. So today's video was going to be a restoration of a hand plane. This is a 130, supposedly Stanley. It's what they call a duplex plane, so the blade could be switched from one side to the other. Bought it on eBay. Turns out it isn't a Stanley, it's just a 130. But I wanted a Stanley. So hopefully I'm sending it back and you're not going to get me restoring that one today. So I was struggling to think of something to do, so I looked in my box of bits and somebody gave me, well my brother gave me actually, because he's always giving me stuff to refurbish, he gave me this. This is a hand grinder, circa, very old. It works, but it's slow to get going. It's also missing the blade guide, or the cutting guide from there, so I don't know, I mean I'm never going to get one of those, but maybe we could make something that will do the job. It's an old one, obviously, because it's a hand one. I don't know when motorised ones came in, probably the 30s or 40s, probably something like that, so it's pre that. It's made in Manchester. There is a label on there. I can't see the actual maker's name yet, but I can see Manchester, British made, it says on there. Yeah, so I think if we take this apart, I mean it's all original, I think it'll look really quite nice if we can get a decent coat of paint on there. Probably the black, maybe the blue. I've got some green left I think as well. So first job, as always, strip it down, see what we got, clean up the parts, paint them, put them back together. Okay, I'm going to take you over to my bench and we'll see if we can get it apart. The first thing I need to do is actually get the wheel off, I think. And I can't do it on the desk, on the bench, because it keeps moving, so I'm going to try and stick it in the vise, I think. Managed to get that nut undone fairly easily. It's a bit difficult though because everything keeps moving. That's it. I've no idea where he got this from. Probably an auction. I'll get him to comment down below so that he can take part. He does watch my videos, I think. Okay, I mean that wasn't as easy as I hoped. So we've got a nice big washer, a wheel, and another washer, some paper in between. Guessing the wheel's been replaced at some point, but it's in fairly good condition. So this shaft actually is moving in there. Presumably I need to release that to let that out. I think the next thing to do will be to take off the handle. Which hopefully should be quite easy. Okay, so that's just got a, can't remember what you call that, one of those. Here's the maker's mark there. I probably could clean it, but I think it's more fun if we wait. And then we can get the back off here. Hopefully. No, not as easy as I thought. That's one loose. 2. 3. And 4. Brilliant. All going well so far. No washers. And there's the mechanism. Okay, got some washers there, and they seat in this part of the plate. I need to keep those together. Actually, there's another washer. I don't think I need to take that apart. That is the shaft and the wheel. It's going to need a good old grease. I think we should attempt to clean it up with a wire brush from there. I'm just going to try the casing first of all, just to see what sort of wire brush we need. Okay, all I'm going to do is knock all the rust off it and paint it. I don't think we need to do any more than that. Obviously grease up the mechanism, polish the handle. So the handle's original, quite nice. Sadly no brass, but this is a bit of cast iron. Let's see how that comes up. Again, that's going to just need painting. And the handle, I shall just lightly sand that and varnish it. This shaft on that handle is riveted at this end, or peened over. It's pretty old, this, but I think it could make quite a nice piece once it's done. No idea what I'm going to do with it. It's got Z103 stamped in there. Might be able to look that up, although I don't think it'll help a lot. Okay, so I'm not going to show you all of the clean up because it is going to take a while. But I might just try and see if I can clean up that label. Don't know if I can get in there. I don't think I can. So that is starting to come up quite nicely, but I've just noticed that it's pinned at the back. I can twist those pins, take that label off and do a proper job. I wouldn't be able to paint around it very easily anyway. It's Niagara number 30 or 3.31 I think, Manchester. Okay, I'm going to take that off now and we'll clean up that label properly. So I've got my long nose pliers. I should be able to just grab that. If I break the pins, it's not the end of the world. They'll be easy enough to replace. There we go. That's it. Got that one. One of the reasons I'm doing this project now, even though it was on the list, is that we're in lockdown. So I'm in a tier 4 area. Well, I think everyone just about is now. So I'm unable to go to the car boot or the flea market to buy any more tools to do up. I tried eBay, but as you saw earlier, it didn't really work very well. Okay, right, that's the 2 pins. Should be able to get the label off now. One pin. 2 pins. There's the label. This is going to be the most exciting bit, so you might as well watch. There you go. That's my thumbnail there, isn't it? So that says on there, Niagara, British made, number 3.31, or whether that's 331, I don't know. Carborundum, hardest, sharpest, registered trademark, and a lovely picture of a Native American. Can't say Red Indian, but you know what I mean. Excellent. That will look very smart. I think I'll polish. I think this is probably a bit too harsh, so I'll get some hand polish on that and make that look really sparkly. So back to the wire brush, finish off the casing, and back to you when I'm ready to paint. There's quite a lot of pitting on the casing, but I think if we get some good layers of paint, we might have to do 3 coats just to get rid of all of that. I've sprayed the main casing parts in a Hammerite green, not sponsored by Hammerite. This stuff here, yeah, getting low on that. I think I've just about got enough to give it another coat, which should be good enough. That green is going to look lovely. Here's the main body. I couldn't do a commentary while I was doing it because there's a man chainsawing by my shed, and then I have done the handle in black, which I think is going to look sweet. Okay, going well so far. I started reassembling the grinder yesterday evening and came across a little bit of a conundrum, a Carborundum conundrum, as I like to call it. Yeah, basically, as I put the wheel on, the wheel is not gripping the shaft here, and I can't see how it does. There's no taper. I would expect that the shaft would be tapered so that the tighter it gets, but that doesn't work. So what's happening is when the shaft turns, it's just spinning within the wheel. If I clamp it up tighter, it just locks the whole thing up. So I can't remember if it was like that when I started. I don't think it was, so I don't know if I'm missing something or what to do really. So that's today's problem, is to try and solve that and then finally get it back together. I also need to do something with the tool guide. I need to get a bit of angled aluminium, so I'm going to do that in a separate video because I haven't got anything available at the moment and it's Sunday, so the chances of me getting something like that are fairly slim. So I'm going to leave that to another time. Hopefully I'll find a bit in a scrap bin somewhere. Okay, let's have a look at this problem, see if we can solve it. I do think I might have solved the problem already. I've noticed that in here, so let's take this washer off, there is actually a ridge. Now I had a couple of washers on here, these things, which I thought came from there, and I think they were stopping that big washer from seating against that. See, now I've got some clearance. Just check these 2 washers are the same size. They are, yeah, pretty much. Okay, so I think it was my own doing. I don't know where I got these washers from. I assume they came on there, but they must have been on the handle or on the inside. So I think it's my bad. Let's try assembling it again, and this time hopefully it'll work. So no washer. Bed that up against there. grinding wheel, doesn't have any particular way to go. Nut. Okay, that's now working, so it was me. Okay, that's good. Let's clamp it to the table and give it a little bit of a test run. So the problem seems to be solved. I've got it clamped to the bench. The wheel's a little bit off skew. Obviously I haven't got a tool rest. See if I can get a spark going. Oh, yep, there's sparks. But not many sparks, but it is taking metal off. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Turned out to be a really fun little restoration in the end. I wasn't really looking forward to this one because I just thought it was a bit of junk, but actually it's really quite nice. Really like the brass plaque. Happy with my little rivets. They look better than the original pins. Maybe it was originally riveted, I don't know. Handle looks good. I'm not sure if I'll ever use it much. It'll probably end up as a gift for my son because he's into sharpening swords and that sort of thing. So that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.